On numbers 15 and 16, I'm asked to decide whether the given arcs are congruent. So I'm supposed to see if JK is congruent to QR. Initially, they look like they are because the central angle is 105 here, and then we have 105 for this, so the two arcs would have a measure of 105, but we have to be careful. Remember, the arcs are going to be congruent if the circles are also congruent. And so we need to check and make sure the circles are congruent. What you'll notice here is this has a radius of 4, and this has a radius of 4.5, which means these two circles are actually similar, not congruent. So therefore, their arcs would not be congruent because they wouldn't be the same length, so we'd say no to that. If you look at this one, we're asked to find if AB is congruent to CD. Well, we're missing some information. I see a diameter here, so if we take that 180 and subtract 96 and 42 from it, what's left is 42 degrees. Now, this is on the same circle, so this circle is going to be congruent to itself, obviously. And if the central angle here is 42, so is its arc. If this central angle is 42, so is its arc. So yes, that does mean that these two are going to be congruent arcs. And then finally, number 17, different set of directions. We're just supposed to find the measure of LM. Now, what I notice here is that I have a right angle and 4 congruent sides, which means we're working with the square. And now if we have a right angle here, notice where the vertex is. It's on the circle, which means right here where that angle ends at M and K, that creates this arc right here, which is going to be 180 degrees. Why? Because remember, the arc divided by 2 is equal to the inscribed angle. So 180 divided by 2 is 90. So that's 180 for this whole section right here. So I have 180 for this larger arc, but then notice that this chord and this chord are congruent. So are their arcs, which means that I could call this x and this x. So 2 of those x's is equal to 180. So when I divide both sides by 2, I know that each section here is going to be 90 degrees. So the measure of the arc LM is going to be 90 degrees.